Well, hello. Hope you're doing well. This is hopefully a first of many videos, primarily probably using this track that I'm working on at the moment. It's a song by two talented artists called Simon and Georgia. I'm not too sure what the song's called. We've just got it labelled as Terry and Simon's mix at the minute. But anyway, we're coming very close to the final stages. The mix really at this stage just needs to be bounced down and sent out for comments amongst us, a number of trusted people that we know, just to give their feedback so we can do a final mix. So hopefully the song will be posted very soon. So this is hopefully a first of many videos, and in this video I thought I'd just take you through the software that I use and just really the setup of the mix. No more than that, in terms of how the mix has been set up, and then future videos will show some of the products that I'm using, some of the software, some of the plugins, some of the outboard gear as well. Okay, so here we go. So as you can probably see in the video, you probably recognize this mix page as Logic. I do use Logic, and this is, I believe, is the latest version. So some good additions they've added. I find, because I've got a mix controller, the ability now to put sends on faders here is quite useful, because I can do the sends on my mix control, which again I'll probably post a video on this mix controller by Mackie. So just to go through how the mix is set up, we've got the drum section. Drums are MIDI drums, and I'm using Addictive Drums, and Simon particularly likes. Simon, by the way, is a drummer, so it's very picky in terms of the tones of the various drums. He does like the Logic drums, and I think they're great, but I've also got Addictive Drums as well, so we're using a combination of both kits, if you like, and again I'll take you through that in another video. We did do live drums, but I think with the combination of Simon being a drummer and he's recorded on his MIDI drum kit, plus the good samples that we've got, it just made sense just to go with the sample drums, because it's still got a pretty good drum. It's still got a drummer's feel, because Simon's played through his MIDI kit in effect. This section we have got all percussion instruments. So I like to colour code my drums and my percussion instruments and my bass all in a kind of an orange colour, and you can see that the drums and the bass, you'll see that pretty much everything is bussed to auxiliary buses, and you'll see that in a minute. So we move on from percussion to the bass. Don't know who the bassist Simon found, but he is a pretty phenomenal bass player. I'm a bassist myself, but I think, you know, very good bass player, and he's done us proud with his bass playing on this particular track. I've got his DI bass, and I've also replicated that and stuck a UAD B15 simulation on there as well. Then we move into blue section. So these are our strings and pianos. We've got strings, we've got piano, we've got Rhodes, we've got a funky lead piano as well, with going through a guitar amp, which gives a quite a good effect. So then we move into our electric guitars. So there we go there. This song has got a Daft Punk funky kind of vibe to it, so very Niles Rodgers type of guitar playing. So we've got our guitarist playing there. Lead vocals. So we've got one lead vocal, and then we have got supporting vocals in terms of different harmonies, and they're being bussed to 5 compressors. I've also got the vocal going to an outboard compressor as well, but again I'll show you that in more detail in future videos. And then we have got the vocalist, by the way, is Georgia. Very good, really good singer actually. And funny enough, I took her vocals through Melodyne, just to kind of, I always do, just in terms of tuning. Pretty much she was bang on. I was really surprised to have a vocalist who can sing without hardly no auto-tune. Is very rare, but she was pitch perfect pretty much. So anyway, we've got Georgia, all her harmonies I should label these up a bit better, but we've got different harmonies for verses, and then we've got harmonies for bridge. We've got, I haven't done this yet, this is the next stage. I've got 2 audio tracks just for referencing. And then we move to our buses. So this is kind of the important bit, really. So all these tracks below are being bussed here. So my buses are kick bus, snare bus, all drums, okay, percussion, parallel compression for the drums, my bass, electric guitar, piano, Rhodes strings. We did have a stab synth sound which we didn't really like, so that's being deleted out of the mix, so that's not in use. These are synth leads and the BVs. With the BVs, I'm doing something just to give them more depth, if you like, and make them a bit more fatter by doubling them up with a Waves plugin called Doubler, and that so in effect these doubler tracks are all linked to these BVs. Then we've got our lead, okay, so all those so lead bus, that's lead vocals, and then the band. And then I'm using a technique, a brow rising technique, which we'll go on to talk about in a lot more detail. So everything really is being bussed into these 4 sections: keys, drums and bass, guitar and backing vocals, using the brow rising technique. Again, I'll talk a little bit more detail of that in future videos. And then we have got all my reverbs and delays, okay, and you can see you can probably just see up here I'm using a combination of UAD and Waves. Again, future videos I'll take you through some of these plugins, and I'll take you through the mix line by line, if you like, and each section. And then that's all being fed into master. I don't put anything on my master bus, and there's a reason for that, is because primarily what I like to do is bounce everything down to a stereo track, and then I've got an outboard SSL compressor, a clone by Stam, and also I'm just trialing iZotope's mastering software as well. So what I will be doing, once I'm happy with this mix, it will get bounced down, I'll put it into, and then I'll look to master it through iZotope, and then I'll put the Stam bus compressor through it. But I do use this VU meter by Kleinhelm, which I find very, very useful, just to make sure I'm not, primarily the song isn't too hot in terms of its levels. So that is the basic mix. More videos to come. Please subscribe. Hopefully this has captured your interest, and there'll be some more videos to come along just to kind of progress through the various kind of sections of the mix. Bye bye for now.